everybody call him Rowdy.
That's so funny. I like that. See, I like that.
And mind you, he's the complete opposite. He's calm as fuck.
See, I like calm cats. I feel like cats should definitely be calm because the last cat I had, we named her Hawthorne. You know, the street from Brooklyn. And that bitch was ghetto as hell. That was a ghetto cat. Ghetto cat. You already know who it is. It's Joan White, the Joan, that Nigerian prince / king. And to the left of me, I have Miss Lita.
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing today?
And then underneath her, we have, who's that? Mr. Knight.
Oh, shit.
Season 1 cast member coming back.
Hi, it's Joseph. If you know me, you know me. Duh.
There we are.
TheMesh.
TheMesh.
I was scared that was going to pour over. All right. So, I have to have a breather real quick. But, okay, so we're going to get into our first topic. We're going to get into it. Our first topic, it kind of like resonates to me a little bit because we as Black people, we have this tendency to, we talk a lot, but we don't do nothing to back up what we're saying. We have a tendency to point the finger at a lot of, other communities and groups that's doing their thing. And in the moment that they get their shit done, we like, well, how come what about us? What about us? So this topic is called, why don't Black people act? Why don't we act up? Why not? Lita, I want to start with you. Why don't we act up?
I really don't know. Like, I think that a lot of people, this is just like a hypothesis. I think that a lot of people are still very stuck in that like crab in the barrel kind of a mindset. Who look out for self. People talk a lot about what they want to do, but then they don't believe in themselves enough that they can start a movement and start an organization if they just reach out and, ask for help. Like, you have a very small percentage of Black people who actually get up and do something about what they want to see. So I think it just all boils down to that. I think it just all boils down to, how much faith, speaking on it, reach out, do the research, find out what resources you could utilize to make your vision come to fruition. Find like-minded people, go to the places where they're doing the things that's similar to what you envision so you can meet other people who's on the same wavelength as you, who won't look at you all crazy when you're expressing your views and expressing your wants and, your needs for your communities and things of that nature. So, yeah.
All right.
That's what I think.
Okay. Joseph, what is your thoughts on it?
I mostly agree with what Lita said. I think it's the crabs in the barrel mindset. I think a lot of Black people just don't want to see other Black people doing better than them. But also think that stems from like materialism. Like everyone's got the flashy clothes, the cars, the jewelry, and all that. So some people just don't like seeing other people shining more than them, I'd say. And I also think it would have to be from fear. I think a lot of Black people are afraid to, in retaliation, like I'm assuming like you're talking about like against like government, like prejudice, like things like that, right?
It don't even gotta be that. It could just be more so of the simplest things. Like for example, because I do want to bring this up. I found out recently that the LGBTQ history is gonna be taught in schools. I think it's from like K to ninth. Is K to 8? 12th grade. K to 12. And I mean, look, I don't have no problem with what a parent wants their child to learn and anything like that. If you want your child to learn it, learn it. If you don't want your child to not learn it, Understood. My problem is that we have a tendency to say, well, why are they teaching LGBTQ history and not Black history in schools? Valid point. But what have we done to push that narrative? What have we done to push wanting Black history to be taught in schools? You know, that's number one. What have we done? You know, the reason why the LGBTQ community can get things done is because they're united. They may be divided in their own community, yes, but they do unite whenever something goes down. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they feel like they want something done, anything that's pushed against them, they unite. They're there. They're in the courts. They band together in organizations and groups. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, okay, well, what have we done to want Black history to be taught in schools? That's number one. Number two, when have we ever been on a level where they want something positive to happen for Black people anyway?
Oh, yeah.
When have we ever been on that type of accord? When have they wanted something positive to happen for Black individuals? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not shocked or surprised that Black history, the real Black history, is not taught in schools. I'm not shocked nor surprised, and I can't be. You know what I'm saying? I look at the LGBTQ community as more of a guide. I feel like we should be taking notes instead of bashing and hating on these people because they get shit done. It's something that they doing, the white community, everybody else, it's something that everybody's doing that we not doing, that we should be looking and taking notes and writing down and starting to imitate. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like we have a tendency to talk. Well, why is this? Oh, well, don't do that. Don't do this. But like, okay, what actions are we going to apply? What solution are we going to find for the problem? I mean, instead of telling me don't do it, how about you figure out something so that we don't have to be in this situation?
Yeah, I heard when I heard about that too, I understood the same thing. I understood the sentiments of like, you know, instead of making it a requirement, it should be optional. I understood the sentiments of why is that now something before the Black history, but I also see what you're saying because it's like, I mean, I didn't do the research, so I don't know. But I personally never heard of, maybe I'm ignorant to it, I've never really heard of like Black people like really like being like, hey, we need this in the schools, like rally principals, hey, school district, here's what we need, you know, make noise, Black history, in school. I never really heard of stuff like that happening. Like I said, I might be ignorant to it. Maybe I need to do research, find out more info. But that's a very good point because it's like, well, if we want it, we have to fight for it. We have the same way they are, we have to. So I think, well, then that's a start. There we go. Now, maybe that's the motivation that we need to make sure, you know what, fuck that. We going to talk about Malcolm X up in public school. Talk about Malcolm X. They don't teach that shit in public school. Unless you got a dope-ass teacher who's going to tell you about that shit on the side. Right. But in the history books, you don't see that shit.
Absolutely. Joseph, what's your thoughts on this?
I think it's because we don't probably have like a unifying voice, like someone like in the school system, like in not the chancellor, but you know who's in the PTA meetings, you know, talking about what's going to be added to the curriculum. I don't really necessarily think it's because someone doesn't want Black history to be taught. I just think, like you said, there's just not enough people fighting for it to be in schools and stuff like that. And I think it's because a lot of people don't know the resources and at least how much power they have in their schools. You know, just with like the more info was put out for people to have access to, there would be more of a fight in there. I think.
Go ahead. Finish.
No, I'm done.
I mean, I can't really use that as an excuse anymore. I mean, we have technology. You want to know how to get something done, you look it up. You know, I'm pretty sure schools all the time literally send out notices saying, hey, we want you, parents, to be involved in the schools, seeing what should be done, what shouldn't be done. I know schools do that. At least when I was growing up, my schools definitely wanted the parents to be more involved with the kids' education. You would have to want to.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? You would have to want to, and you choose not to. So you can't choose not to and then complain that there's no solution happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I get a little bit lost that, like, I don't know if you guys know who Candace Owens is, but she's this lady. Sounds familiar, right? She's this lady who has these very powerful views. She's a Black woman who has these very
she a little old thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She got these crazy views. Now, I like her because she stands strong in her views and she's very knowledgeable. Now, I may not necessarily agree with what she says about along the lines of Black Lives Matter and all these other things that come out her mouth, but one thing that I do agree with is that we have to start pointing the finger at ourselves and start questioning, well, what are we not doing? What is it that we're lacking in? We need to start having, like she said, 2-parent homes, you know, the fathers in the household, this, like that. We need to start getting involved in a lot of these things. We can't continuously say, hey, well, how come we're being left out if we're not even applying to be in it?
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just where my gripe is like, we have this tendency, we talk a lot, but we don't want to do nothing. And it's like, well, if we have the energy to talk, then we should have the energy to walk it.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with that one. Like, that's it. So this also brings into my next topic that I want to get into, which is the support in the Black community. Now, we are all artists here. Joseph, you're an artist as well. Supporting the Black community can linger along the lines of even business or whatever the case may be. I want to kind of piggyback off of how do we feel as Black people when we don't get the support, love, and care from our own community? How does that make us feel? So I'm gonna start.
Anything.
Under anything. It could be business. It could be your artistry. It could be anything. Fall underneath any category. This is an open.
As an art, I think one thing an artist needs to be comfortable with is not getting support from anyone whenever they're starting doing anything. I think it's kind of sad that you had to accept that reality. But in regards to the Black community, I think it depends on how much you put in and how much you're gonna get out of it. Because I was watching the interview with Drake. He was complaining about how he doesn't feel like he doesn't get a lot of support from the Black community. But I don't see Drake talking about any Black issues ever. I mean, if someone sees anything about that, let me know. But I've never seen him talk about anything. So I mean, that's why I would see that the Black community doesn't support him as much. So I think if you're helping inner city schools, building playgrounds in communities, you start seeing more support in your art, I feel. But I think just starting out, you're not gonna get support from a lot of people you're just expecting it from. That's how I take it, at least.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Lita.
Not getting support from the Black community sucks, right? That shit does not feel good, like, because it's like, damn, like, you want to stay within your community and you support the people in your community, and then when it's like you doing things, it's always so hard. Really don't want to support until you pop. It's like we gotta see proof that you actually, popped. Like, we gotta see proof that other people fuck with you. And then that's when it's like, oh yeah, now let me go to so-and-so. No, be that way from the beginning, from the very start, from the scratch. When I didn't have nothing, when I was working, traveling, and now I got my own salon. Like, the whole journey through, that's some real supportive shit. And then, you're going to have people who find out later on as the beginning. It's very hard, and it sucks that it's so hard to get the support from your own people. And support comes in many ways. That's the thing. Like, people got to realize sometimes, okay, maybe you can't afford to do something, but you are promoting their work. Mm-hmm. You're promoting their product. You show up to showcases or whatever it is that person got going on. You show up, or ain't nothing but a share, a word of mouth. Oh, you need a painter? My boy, let me show you his Instagram. Oh, you need a makeup artist? Or you need somebody to help you with catering? I got ways. So if that, even at the bare minimum, you can't do that, that shit sucks. That shit burns. And this goes back to what I said before, crabs in the barrel. Gotta get rid of that. But it's a long wingage of that. So it's kind of hard to reverse it, but we working on it.
Yeah, we are. I do see a little bit of improvement. I can't lie and say I don't see no improvement. I do see some improvement from our community. You know, they are doing their research a little bit more, and they are, you know, because they I think they found out a whole list of Black-owned businesses, Black-owned restaurants that you can buy food from, and so I do know that it is a work in progress. It just kind of sucks because, you know, we as Black people, we put so many people on.
Yeah.
We put so many people on and we don't even realize it. And it's
Mhm.
like we put a lot of people who aren't in our community on. And so these people don't represent us. Of course, they're not going to speak out against issues that pertain to Black community because they're not Black or they're mixed. And, you know, they don't really claim, you know, they don't claim that Black side. They claim more so that other side. So
They claim it when it's convenient to them, you know.
exactly, you know,
When
when
it's
they,
like,
Right.
an
And get the fuck
album
out of
release,
here.
they like, yes, my Black people, you know, I'm getting
No. Bye.
that. But it does suck. You know, we do that and we have a tendency to do that. And I see it changing, so I can't really like dig into, you know how you gotta scold. I can't scold as I want to because I see a process. It's a process.
I think that really bothers me is when I see the who are not Black at all more than they're supporting actual Black people who are doing the exact same thing that these, you know, other people are doing. I think that's when it bothers me the most. It's like, you know, there's someone doing it better than that who's just looks just like you and is about what you're about. But okay, you know, that's the only time when that's like I see it and it's like, whoa, okay.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. Like on TikTok, when TikTok, like I'm gonna say probably like a couple of months ago, a lot of Black people. So how it works is like, you know, you make the videos or whatever, but you get it from like the original person who made the original video. So you have a bunch of white people who redid those videos, and 9 times out of 10, they're usually a Black person who was the originator of the video. And the white people will be in like 2 million views, 3 million views, 1.5
Yeah.
million likes. And then when you look at the
Don't
original
give no
video,
credit.
right. And then when you look at the original video, it's like 50K. Like, what?
Yeah.
This is the original video. Like, this is what you mean 50K? Y'all better go and like this. So I
Right.
do this thing on TikTok where I only like the Black people stuff. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. But I want to move on to the next topic, which is can you, while we're speaking on Black, can you be pro-Black and date outside of your community? Ms. Lita, what do you feel about this? Because I know, like, on your page, y'all was going off. So I want to know what thoughts y'all got.
I mean, I think it depends. I don't know. I feel like you can. I know a lot of people feel like you can't, but I feel like you can only because I feel like this could be about the opposition, white people. And there are white people who are complete and utter allies for Black people who don't stand for nothing oppressive, don't stand for nothing supremacist, right? And so if you are a Black person and you come across someone like that, or if you come across a Hispanic who stands for Black lives and they stand for what you stand for and they out there with you and they doing the work and they donating and they signing petitions, then I feel like that shouldn't erase the fact that you still are pro-Black, that you still are doing the work too, and that you still are out here doing the work, spreading the word. I don't think that if that's your scenario, you shouldn't be deemed as, no, you're not pro-Black because you're dating somebody else white, even though they stand for what you stand for too. But that's just my opinion. I understand how people could say, no, that's not pro-Black. I get it totally, but I feel like it still is.
I think as a human being, you're allowed to love whoever you want to love. So I think, yeah, I agree. You can be pro-Black and still date someone outside your race. You can be in love with a white person. You can be in love with a Hispanic person, Chinese, Asian, green, red, whatever, and still be pro-Black. I think I hated when Michael B. Jordan had posted a picture. He was protesting, and someone commented, "But you're still dating white people." So it's like, but what does that even matter right now in this situation? I just don't like him being attacked for dating outside his race. I think no one should be attacked for dating outside their race. They can still be pro-Black.
Now,
That's my
I'm gonna disagree. I feel like being a pro-black revolutionary is very much different than being a black activist. Now, activism is different because you're fighting for. You know, you said it, like you socially fight for. You're bringing awareness. You're actually out there protesting. You're trying to get a political change. It's a change. That's what activism is. It's a change within something that you want. I feel like people can be black activists and contribute to black activism, but I don't think that you can be a pro-black revolutionary. Reason being is because a pro-black revolutionary is somebody that's within the community. So you're within the black community, everything that you do is black. From what you eat, recipes that you find on the internet or whatever is black. Clothes that you shop at, black. Toothpaste you use, black. Everything is black. So when you are you're for the community, you're within the community, and when you procreate, it's going to be within the community. Your money circulates within the community. You know, you're educating young black kids to love the skin that they're in. I couldn't imagine a white person telling a young black child to love the skin that they're in and not know the experiences that also comes behind the skin. So I think that you can't be pro-black revolutionary dating outside your community, but you can definitely be a black activist. There are white black activists, that they contribute, they want change, they socially make it aware, like, hey, we want Black Lives Do Matter. Those are activists. Those are contributes to activism, and you can also be a supporter. But I don't think you could be a pro-black revolutionary. I don't think you can. That's just mine.
I think pro-black is like for black, pro, right? That's the prefix.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what you're for, then that's what you're going to pour into. But I don't think that dating outside your race takes that away from you. I don't think that dating outside your race makes you not for it. Like, it doesn't negate that. Like, I'm trying to understand, how can you strip that just because they're dating somebody who's not of their race?
Because when you have kids, you have to remember you're bringing an outsider, somebody who's not a part of our community, that does not know our experiences, into the community. So when you have kids and stuff like that, those kids are not really fully black. They're half and half. You know what I'm saying? So when you date somebody, let's say if you're dating a white woman, right? She owns a business and she brings that business to our community. How is that helping our community grow? Because that's not a black business owner in our community. That's a white business owner in our community. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think that you can be pro-black because that's not really for the community. But like I said, you could be a black activist. It's you're fighting for, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep everything within the community that you do. That's what pro-black is. You're for the community. That means like everything that you do is for the community. You know what I'm saying? From the kids that you bring, the wealth that you gain, it goes right back. It's for the community.
Okay.
So if you're saying if someone's pro-black and is dating outside their race, they're not really pro-black?
No, what I'm saying is that if you
Even
are
that's all.
I'm sorry, no, say that again. I'm sorry, because it lagged out.
Like they're not like pro-black. So like even if they're like doing everything, they're making black-owned businesses, supporting black-owned businesses, supporting black candidates running for office, everything pro-black, but they're just
That's
dating.
not pro-black then. You dating somebody who's not black. That's not pro-black. That's not being pro-black. Like I said, you could be an activist. That's activism. You know what I'm saying? But you're not pro-black because it's like you can't tell me, oh yeah, I'm doing 95% of everything correct, but just minus that 5%. No, if you're 100% forced, like, if you're 100%, it's 100%. It's no it's no pie chart, no scale.
Damn, Juwan.
What?
So like Martin Luther King Jr. was dating a white person, was married to a white woman. Curtis Scott Jr. was Carla Scott Jr. some shit, whatever. Damn, he's not gonna everything he stood for is just.
He's an activist. You could be a strong black activist. You could be strong on activism. Yes, you are fighting for the black community. Yes, you're an activist.
You can't celebrate MLK Day anymore if he dated a white woman.
You can't what? No, you can. You can. Like,
that's what I understand though,
I'm separating the two, right? So you have pro-black revolutionaries. Those are people it's black everything. Everything is black. You know what I'm saying? That's Black everything. And then you have Black activism. Activism, the word in activism is fight for a change. You're fighting for. So you could be a Black activist and date whoever the hell you want to date. You know what I'm saying? Because you're fighting for. But a Black
So I feel
revolution.
like,
Uh-huh.
in theory, then I would go for the people who still buy things from Target.
Yeah,
Because that's how
That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't classify myself to be a pro-Black revolutionary. I would never, ever, because I do buy from stores that's outside of my community. You know what I'm saying? But I can classify myself as a Black activist because my money may not be going into the community. Not everything that I'm doing may be necessarily going into my community, but I do fight for my community.
So say someone is a pro-Black revolutionary, right? Single, right? Along the lines, they meet a white person, a white woman, a white person, whoever, doesn't matter. And then they get together. Now he's an activist.
They wouldn't even look at a white woman, to be honest. A pro-Black revolutionary wouldn't even look at a white woman. He would glorify his Black queen.
What if he just happens to fall in love with one?
He wouldn't.
All right, shit.
That's the whole point. The whole point is to glorify the Black community. You are when I say everything is Black, like you could look up the definition for yourself and see. When I say everything is Black, everything that you do is Black. You know what I'm saying? That's a pro-Black revolutionary. That's Black everything. You're not going to be with a partner that's outside of the community. You're going to keep everything within the community because you want to see the community grow.
Okay.
Did I like do good with explaining? You know, I learned from Candace. I'm telling you.
I got it. I think at first I was like, I felt like you were at first I felt like you were like coming at people.
No.
But then I understood what you meant. I'm like, oh, okay. That's why I was asking my question. Like that's why I asked the MLK.
Yeah, like, you know.
That is stupid shit. But I get it. I understand now. It makes sense. I hear you. I understand where you're coming from.
I was trying to listen how to like talk like that. I'm telling you, Candace Owens, she's really good. I'm not gonna lie, she's really good. I want to battle her one day in a debate. So this brings us to our next topic, which is, since that we're on the topic of pro-Black and activism, I want to get into love versus loyalty. And Khalida, this was the topic that you brought up, so I do want you to explain it further. Go ahead.
How much time we got left?
Oh, we got a lot of time.
Oh, okay, lit. So, love and loyalty.
Look, we got 10 minutes now. We got 10 minutes here.
So love and loyalty is just a matter of like versus, like love versus loyalty. What is more imperative to you? What do you prefer more than the other? What's more of a priority to you in your relationships with people? Is it the love, the emotion, the feeling, and the actions that come with it when you love someone? Or is it the loyalty? Which one is more priority over the other? And so for me, I would say loyalty, because love is a feeling, right? It's an emotion, and it'll make you do some things, right? So I feel like it'll make you do some things sometimes when you're not in a certain place. Maybe the situation itself might be toxic, even though you love that person. So now you kind of getting out of character and you doing things maybe that you wouldn't normally do, and it got you going against your morale. And now, you know what I'm saying, like the actions that you've done has caused some kind of chaotic and brought some type of bad karmic return on the scenario. But when you loyal to somebody, and that's in a worst case situation.
Right.
When you're loyal to somebody, it's a morality thing, right? It's something inside of you. It's a vibe. It's an energy where you are loyal. Like there's something that makes that person feel like I do you wrong, and with that comes love, right? So I would much rather have somebody on my side watching my back, because it doesn't have to be in a relationship. Loyalty could come from anybody who plays any position in your life. and they got your back, and they gonna make sure you good, and they gonna support you, and they gonna ride with you. They gonna let you know when you wrong, when you fucked up, but they still gonna be right there by your side, and there's nothing that's gonna break that bond. And that's some strong shit. And I feel like that's stronger than love, because at some point, depending on how fragile the situation with love is, it could break. Know what I'm saying? And then you go separate ways and you still got that feeling, but y'all are not even in that same circumference anymore. But with loyalty, it's like you always got my back, I always got your back, and no matter what, we got each other. So I feel like that's my priority is loyalty first.
Mhm. I'm gonna go and jump on next here. I agree with you 100%. I think it's honestly a New York thing with us. Like for us, New Yorkers, like we always had loyalty, was just always number one from the mob days. You know what I'm saying? Loyalty, all that. You know, you're not ratting out, da da da. Brooklyn, heavy on. You know what I'm saying? It's really a New York thing with us. Like I pick loyalty over love too, for the simple fact that loyalty is in action. Like you know, you're not gonna sit over here. You're loyal to me. You know that anything that with my name in it, you know you're gonna defend. You're gonna have my back 100%. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with love, you can love somebody from so many different angles. You can love somebody from a distance. Yeah, I love that person, but we don't talk every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So love to me is it's like what you an emotion, but it's not something where it's solidified in a person. I don't have to actually love you. I can love you. Like, you know, friends say, I love you, da da da. Or you know, you just meet somebody, oh yeah, I love you, you know, da da. But you don't actually mean it. You know what I'm saying? So with loyalty, once when you're loyal to somebody, you built that. That's a built relationship. You know what I'm saying? You built off of that. And that's why I would always prefer loyalty over love any day. Somebody loyal to me, they know that they ain't cheating. Yeah, they know that I'm in the club. They like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead, Joseph.
Like you said, love is a feeling. I believe loyalty is like an action, like you know, or it's set up actions. Like you said, someone can say, "Oh, I love you," but be cheating on you, doing mad dirt, saying mad crazy shit behind your back, doing mad crazy shit to you. But I love you though, but and really, and probably still actually do love you, but they're not being loyal to you. I rather someone hate you, loyal to you. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, say that last part again. I lagged out.
I'd rather someone hate me and be loyal to me than love me and not be loyal to me. You know what I mean?
I got you. I feel that 100%.
I don't have anything else on that. I agree with both of y'all. I that's it. Loyalty over love.
Oh my gosh. I forgot to say we're Adeline. Okay, so wait, hold on, pause before we continue. So Adeline is going through family issues right now, so she won't be a part of this show, but she'll be a part of the next one. I swear to God, I was in my head. I'm like, I was supposed to say Adeline. Anyway, so to move on, I'm gonna also add another topic on here, just because it's also crucial. I know that a lot of people don't agree with police. So we're gonna talk about that specifically after this next topic. And I'm going to bring it in. I got my paperwork, you know what I'm saying? You know, I always get my paperwork ready and stuff. So Joseph, this was your topic. You said, why aren't relationships taken serious? Is it because of Black men or is it because of Black women? Who are you blaming?
Oh, I didn't mean it as a black man, black thing. You just made it a black thing.
But, okay, fine. All right. Is it men or women? Shit, go on.
It can't be. Chill. Anyway, yeah. So, who doesn't take relationships? Whose fault is it for relationships not being taken seriously? Since one had to make it a black thing.
I mean, I've heard in the Black community, to be honest, like Black relationships just don't work out. But go ahead.
It's the men's fault. Someone was opening my door. I'm sorry. Because I feel like a lot of men in relationships fall victim to temptation a lot. I'm not saying all men do. A lot of men stay strong, you know, stay faithful to them in the relationships. But I feel that a lot don't. And traditionally in relationships, it's the man's job to lead, you know, to set an example support the household, financially, put food on the table, and the woman kind of follows that lead. So I feel like for a long time, a lot of women have been following that lead and have been saying, "Oh, if he's gonna cheat, I'm gonna start cheating," and that kind of starts like a vicious cycle. And then the children see that and like, "Oh, well, that's how mommy and daddy gonna do it. That's how I'm gonna do it." You know what I mean?
So you're saying that you stand strong and that men should be in charge in the household and women should play the nurturing position.
We live in a different time. Different relationships work differently. I said traditionally that's how things work out. We live in a different time now. Sometimes women are the breadwinners, men are the stay-at-home dads, which is fine too. I think whatever works for you works for you. I think that's one of the reasons why relationships are not taken seriously. But in my household, maybe I would like it like that. Yeah, yes, I agree with that.
So that you would take the you take the lead and she'll follow.
Ideally, that yes, exactly. I would like it like that. But
Yeah.
Live in a different age now. I don't care. I don't care. Hey, if someone else is making more money than me.
Now, Lita, I know that you was next to speak on why aren't relationships taken serious and who is to blame for
it. All right, why relationships aren't working? That's what you said?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, why aren't relationships taken serious and who are to blame for it, men or women?
I don't know who's to blame for it in terms of gender, but I know this new generation, like the kids born in the 2000s and shit, they came up in this bitch and made it seem like it was so uncool to be in love, or it was so uncool to court, or it's so uncool to like really like take your time and take somebody serious and get to know them. That's the shit. Like that shit is weird as fuck. Like people's dating lives now, I'll be like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. What's going on? What's wrong with the niggas? Like, what's wrong with these niggas these days? Like, damn, y'all don't want to get to know a bitch. Y'all just be like, pull up to the crib. Let me come to your house. We don't even know each other, son. There's mad sex trafficking going on. The fuck I'm going to your house for? So I don't know who's to blame, but the generation, literally like these early 20-something-year-olds, and it's like transferring into the 30-year-olds and the 40-year-olds. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
Like, sir, ma'am, y'all don't want families?
What's wrong with y'all? Y'all all right? Like, y'all don't believe in like going on dates, getting to know each other. Y'all don't believe in that conversations. And nowadays, the way shit is going, you gotta have a conversation because you need to know, like, what do you think about pedophilia? What's your thoughts on human sex trafficking? How do you feel about Trump? How do you feel about Kanye West? You need to know these things nowadays. What do you think about kids? Are the kids off limits? What's the You gotta know, like, you gotta ask these things because it's so fucking weird. Like, this shit is weird now. I don't understand it. I'm old school as fuck. I don't get none of this shit these people is doing now. I don't know who's to blame, but I know the generations have changed. And I'm scared to see what's to come. That's why I teach my kids the way I teach my kids. I'm real raw with them. I talk to them real up front because y'all gotta know, listen, there's shit going on out here. You gotta be careful out this bitch.
Mm-hmm. That's a motherfucking fact. Now, I miss dating back in the days. I miss dating back when I was in high school because it was so much more authentic. Like, y'all really met up. Like, we really met in a public space. You know what I'm saying? We really had conversation. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's house. Nobody was like, oh, yeah, drop Addy, da-da-da. Because if you drop an Addy and I come over, I'm stealing your stuff. I'm going to do what Cardi B did. I'm going to sit over here.
I dropped
dead. Yo, what?
I never did that. But
listen, because the way how people are acting nowadays.
I never.
Like, shit, I don't know what you about to do. You know all the exits in your house. I don't know the exits.
That's what I'm
Shit.
saying. Niggas be so quick, like, pull up. Like, what? You don't even know me. I'm about to pull up with my niggas. Like,
I'm about to call everybody. It's a house party. Yo, I really agree. I blame the generations. I think it's a generational thing. I blame them. That's who I blame, because it's just like I had somebody literally tell me like, oh yeah, we have to have sex first so that way I know if it's good or not if I want to pursue you. So I said, you.
and my whole thing with sex is like, you know, that's completely up to you. Whatever you want to do
But
with sex, do
but
it.
off the
But
first,
it's like, goddamn, hold on.
like I just typed hi. I typed hey, how are you doing?
I think
It's like
dating apps, and just technology in general, we're so used to things coming like right now. So like
it's true.
that's why we want relationships to move like that too now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
That's
so
not how it works.
that, like no, like
And I think that's why there's a lot of like toxic relationships too, because these relationships are developing unnaturally.
Oh, and I'm glad you said toxic, because people are glorifying that shit these days.
Yo, bro, that's a big problem too. They want that toxic relationships are like the cool things now. Like, I'm in a toxic relationship,
they want to be beating each other
People
up.
are glorifying toxic behavior, and that shit is no fun.
It's not. I don't want to argue with you every day. Like, you're supposed to be my stress-free reliever. You're not supposed to be my stress. You're not supposed to be adding on. If you got to sit over here and track me down 24/7, then maybe we shouldn't be together. If you got to sit over here and check every bitch that I'm having a normal conversation with, then we don't need to be together. If you got to argue just to prove if I like you, then maybe we don't need to be together. Because then, you know what that sounds like? That's a lot of insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know how to communicate that insecurity, so you just want to turn it into what the fuck you want to turn it into and try to drive my ass crazy. But guess what? You ain't gonna do it. You want to know why? Because I'm secure in myself and I know what I want. And I know who I am. So you will not
But
be
like, you seen what Drea said, right?
About
Megan and Tory.
Yes, I seen it. And she said,
glorifying that toxic shit.
me too.
She said that sounded like some Barbie and Whitney shit, and she want a love like that. She wants somebody to like her so much that if they be like, get in the car, and I be like, no, nigga, he be like, bang, bang. That's what she said.
Like, I don't even get how is that remotely, like, even, like, how does that cross your mind to think that that's okay? Like,
She said it was a joke. It was like a joke. Like, it was funny. Like, oh, like being sarcastic. I get it. I get the joke, because I feel like in a normal setting, I would hear somebody say some shit like that. But I feel like you're 35 years old. You got 2 kids, sis. And once again, you got women, black women who's following. You got to be careful. Like, if you want to make that joke amongst your little family and friends in the house where nobody's recording, all right. But on a public platform where you sitting in front of men and you on a fucking podcast saying some shit like that, bitch, is you dumb? That's irresponsible as fuck. Because once again, I was going off just last week about that shit with fucking, who the fuck was I talking about? I forgot.
You was talking about Evelyn is out.
Right. So it's the same shit. Use your platform responsibly, sis, because that's not a joke. You try to pander to the men. You trying to be appealing to the men. Like, ha ha ha, I want somebody to love me like that. Shut the fuck up. You sound stupid shit.
That's the thing. Like, it's not a joke, because there's people that really do want situations like that, and there's people that really do go through situations like that, and there's people that's really scared for their lives. So I don't even think that should have been a joke. See, a joke is something that people can laugh at. Like, see, if Dave Chappelle probably said some shit like that, I'll probably laugh. Because Dave Chappelle's known for saying some savage shit. Like, he's known for saying some outlandish, craziest things. I don't know, Drea. So you making a joke? When did you become a comedian?
I'm
the
dead.
thing is, Drea went through physical abuse too.
So
I mean, I'm not gonna say that I don't see. My whole thing is this, right? COVID-19 done killed motherfuckers, and black people out here making jokes. We out here dying, rallying, and black people making jokes. Megan, not for nothing, you got shot in your foot, and you want to give us little Blue's Clues. You ain't trying to tell us nothing. but you want to give us Blue's Clues, people are going to cut your ass. They're going to fucking roast you. Like, you know the black community don't take nothing serious. Thank goodness you are still here by the grace of goodness. But sis, you dropping hints. And we like, how can we help you?
Right.
Nobody helps black women. So how can we help you? You don't want to say it. Oh, you don't want to tell us. Oh, we gonna fucking cut your ass. What you mean? Like
that's legit. Like we talk, like you talking. Okay, yeah. So clue number 1 is on island number 1. Like, no, bitch,
like,
just give us
like,
so we can help you.
But Jaya did was corny, period. Like, girl, Megan, you're irking my life. But what Jaya did was corny.
So I wanna.
But at the same time, I get it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I lagged out, so you were still talking. I'm so sorry. I wanted to get into this next one because I noticed that a lot of black people are against police, and so I kind of wanted to know or kind of like dissect why, you know, that there are so many black people that's supporting to defund the police. I don't feel like we should defund the police for the simple fact that there should be intense trainings for the police. There should be intense screening for when you enter in, and you don't even enter in yet. You know how like you know when you get a regular corporate job and then they do a background check from tweets that you said 2011, like damn bitch, that was a lot of scrolling you had to do. It should be something like that where it's like if you made any sort of racial remark or any type of racial comment, you cannot join the police academy. I feel like we shouldn't defund, because when you defund, that's when people just not gonna care. Oh yeah, we see the cops, they don't got their, you know, whatever weapons they got. Like you see Times Square. They only there because of terrorist threats, to be honest. Let's be hot, let's be cute, let's keep it G. You know, New York City, #1 terrorist hot spot. Mm-hmm. They there with their little AKs or whatever the fuck that gun called, I don't know. But they there to protect. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine you defunding them, you taking away the safety from the people.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not getting into this black on black crime because crime is crime. Crime don't got a color on it. Okay. Now, what happened was that they did take away, and a bill did happen where they did take away for the law enforcement. It's called the Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights, which they can't be, you know, prosecuted, investigated for any type of thing that they do. That's been striped away. The Supreme Court didn't even think about it twice. They didn't bat an eye. They're not turning back to it. That's something that should teach police officers like, hey, I can't commit a crime now because if I do, I'm in risk of losing my job. So I just want to know, why is so many people just against the police? Like, I feel like, you know, a lot of crime in New York City definitely been happening, skyrocketed ever since the commissioner got rid of the task force that, you know, the undercover police people, they got rid of them, which was keeping guns kind of off the street. You know, people was hiding their guns in their house. Now bitches is walking outside with their guns shooting bitches. No! I'm scared. Flatbush and Utica, it was safe.
I'm dead. Oh my God.
What y'all thoughts on it?
I think people have been against the police because of everything that's been going on for years. Police brutality, you know, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. How many people I got named, Juan? This, you know, okay. That's why people, you know, I think that's why people are against the police. I don't see defund the police. I feel like the funding should be cut because we do spend too much on it. That's why I believe it should be defunded. But to the extent where like the armed are basically losing their presence, so we don't, you know, basically people can start ransacking the neighborhood. No, I don't think they should be cut down to that level. But there should be some money, or you know, a significant amount of money taken out of the police. But yeah, I'm not surprised that people are like 100% for defund the police. Everything that's going on, yeah.
Okay, so I just want to before you jump on board, Khalida, I just wanted to comment on something that he stated. I am not at all talking about, you know, the lives that were lost or the lives that do get abused by the police, because those are a couple of bad police officers. Yes, those are a couple of police officers with their own agenda. Just like Black Lives Matter, we had a couple of people with their own agendas doing the rioting. You can't blame everybody just for those people. You specifically can't. there are good police officers out there that, and I'm pretty sure that their reputations are on the line, because there are people that really do think it's all police officers when that's not the case. I have never had a bad experience with the police officers, knock on wood. I've never had one. And I can't tell the next person what their experience is with the police, like, oh yeah, well, you shouldn't feel that way. Of course, feel the way how you feel. I'm just saying it as in we still need them. It's not like it's not like everybody can fall in line and we all know how to behave and act in public. We all don't. We don't. I'm not leaving my life in the hands of other individuals. Citizens do not have to defend citizens. That's the truth. It's a sad truth, but it's the truth. Citizens do not. So I'm not leaving my hands in the life of citizens. We do need police officers. There are a couple of bad ones. That's why I'm saying we need intense. We need either a law to pass, like, yo, you have to go through extreme measures in order to even join in. And we need intense training for them to know, hey, these are do's and don'ts, and you don't do it. Go ahead, Miss Lita.
I understand why people are so like against the police. There's so much history, Black people specifically. It's so much history of the police not giving a fuck about us, like not even a little bit. So I could see where that trauma lies and where the Black community is like, fuck the police, defund these motherfuckers, put the money into the communities, or put the money into extensive mental health checks, extensive background checks. Sometimes citizens move quicker than the fucking cops in our community. Like, so it's like we might as well set up an organization where the citizens undergo the same kind of fucking fitness training, the same kind of mental health extensive background checks, the same all of that drug test, all of that shit for the people in the communities, the citizens in the communities, and not necessarily to have a gun, because you don't need a gun. Don't fuck around and give no citizen no gun. Police shouldn't even have a fucking gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't see anything wrong with that idea. I like the idea of that, but again, it goes back to what we said in the first topic of this podcast. Okay, so then how the fuck is we gonna do it? Because this is what we're talking about. But how are we gonna do it? How? Who's gonna start it? How do we reach out? Like, how do we do this?
We can't see, the thing is that we can't continue to wait for somebody to start something. It just has to. Okay, so
so how? You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
That's
so I'm gonna bring in my theater class, for example, right? They have this thing where it's like, okay, we all are like in a circle with our eyes closed, and somebody does like a rhythm, and we all are on the same accord. So we're not waiting for one person to start the specific rhythm. It's just that it starts, and then everybody starts to get on board. You get what I'm saying? So where I'm trying to get at is, I don't think that we should wait for anybody to start something. I think we should just do it ourselves. Like in these other communities, like I said, these other communities are very much separate. They're probably the same amount of separate that we are. But whenever something happens, change is always shifting. Like there's a group that comes out of the communities and like, hey, we need to change this. You get what I'm saying? So if it's very crucial for us, I don't want us to wait, because we're saying, yeah, how do we get it started? I mean, there are conversations that do go on, especially in different groups that are out there. Like when we was talking about pro Black revolutionaries, there are different groups out there that are like that and that are doing their thing that you can join in. You could talk about solutions. You know what I'm saying, to the problem. I think us constantly battling the problem. Okay, when do we eventually stop talking about the problem and then go on to a solution? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the point that I'm making. It's like, okay, we could keep talking about it. That's the point I'm making. We could keep talking about it, but at what point do you do something about it?
Okay, so when we off camera, we gonna discuss.
Yeah, we gotta do something.
Did you catch what I said?
You said when we all you.
Okay, so that's what I mean. Like there's groups that do talk about it. It may not be in public, but they do speak about it, and that there are groups that constantly try to think of solutions. Where they at? I mean, I don't know, because they underground. I don't know.
When the world needs them most, they vanished.
They're gone. But this was one pretty good, solid, fast show. It was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the conversation topic. So you already know who it is. It's Juan Y, the Juan, that Nigerian prince / king. And to the left of me, I have Miss Lita.
Yes, it's been Lita Apple Pump. Gotta put you on. And make sure y'all follow TheMesh on Instagram and click like and click subscribe and click the bell for the notifications so you can always be notified when we up on this bitch.
That, and I also want y'all to comment below so that way we could all hear and see what you, the people, think about these topics that we discuss and we talk about. And we have a cast member from last season rejoining. Joseph will be a permanent cast member on the show. Joseph Knight.
Hey.
And we are the man.
If you know me, you know.
Oh my God, I
Bye.
gotta stop showing my armpit.